What's up, tribe? Happy Thanksgiving break. At least I'm on break. Make sure you guys are getting your Black girl vitamins. They are there to supplement all the things that a Black girl needs. Because listen, we are on vacation. Black women are on vacation. So if you guys could check out Black Girl Vitamins using my discount code ReallyBTV to get 20% off of your purchase. Doesn't matter if it's your first, second, third, fourth, or fifth purchase. That discount code is still good. Please make sure you guys are letting me know that you are enjoying. If they're helping, if they're working out for you, let a sister know. And I was going to say I'll talk to y'all later, but I ain't. I'm about to talk to y'all now. I was going to say I'll talk to y'all later. Child, we just getting started. We're going to talk right now. What's up, everybody? Come on in. Now, listen, I couldn't get down here last night to talk to y'all about this TD Jakes situation because, the last couple of days have been a little busy. But I said I'm going to come on over here and we're going to break down to the best of my ability this TD Jakes situation. Now, I know people have been talking about it for the last couple of days, but baby, we're going to talk about it the way the tribe talks about it, all right? I'm only asking y'all two favors tonight. Favor number one, if you could please hit the like button as you guys come on in and take a seat. Hey, Cams. Hey, Boo. If you guys can come on in and take a seat. Number two, if you guys could subscribe to the Teacher Project 2.0 if you have not done so already. Y'all, we are less than 200 subscribers away from our 1,000 subscribers. And listen, we've been doing this a long time, and I know we've been up and down, but we're really trying to be up. Okay, so if you guys could just, if you're not already subscribed, if you could please subscribe to the Teacher Project 2.0. The link is it's pinned at the top of the chat. All right. Has Diddy gotten bail yet? To the best of my ability, he has not. It looks like he's gonna. I mean, they're putting information about he's already secured an apartment. They've already done security and all kinds of things. But baby, I don't know. They still arguing. They still sending letters back and forth. I do have a copy of those letters. Maybe tomorrow we'll go through those letters. But this whole live, what's up, Cruiser? Cruiser said, wait a minute, hold on. Chuck said there's 115 people in the pews, but only 31 likes. I was going to say Cruiser said it, but Cruiser did say that. But we'll get into some things tomorrow. And for those who inquired, my dad's surgery went well. I talked to him a little while ago. He's groggy and all of that stuff, but he is in his room and he's eating and all that. So I'll be going up there tomorrow. So when I get home after visiting my dad, we'll do all of that. Now let's get into the things, you guys. So TD Jakes has filed a lawsuit against the man who made some very serious accusations towards him a few weeks ago. Now, we talked about it down here when it happened. Larry Reid Live is where he did the interview. He did it down to the Larry Reid Live. And I see green hearts. Did you come over here from Thais? When I see them green hearts, I always think of the Thai Squad. You came over here from the Thai Squad? See, y'all coming. Thank you, Thais. I know you around here somewhere. Thank you, Boo. Thank you. And welcome to the Thai Squad. Y'all coming in here from the Thai Squad. Y'all come on over here from the Thai Squad. So we're gonna go through the lawsuit, but I also have some new information that I need to add to it to give to y'all. I know Pam went over the lawsuit and she had Larry Reid actually clicked her link and they talked about some things. So we'll discuss. Hey, Sir James. Hey, Boo. So we're going to talk about some things as well that Larry Reid said. But let's get into this lawsuit first and foremost. Because did y'all know that Larry Reid was named as a co-conspirator? Baby, I said Larry Reid is named as a co-conspirator. Now, we're going to get into some things. Let's talk about it. Here goes some more green hearts. Welcome to the Thai Squad. Y'all come on in and take a seat. He's not named. He's named as a co-conspirator. What? Oh, okay. Hold on. They said that his name's not in there. Hold on. They said his name is not in there. That's what I had heard. Okay. Let me go back. Let me rewind. I could have sworn I saw it, but okay. Let's read it. We're going to forget what I said until I read this lawsuit. Larry, don't get me. Larry, don't you come and get me. But I could have sworn that's what I heard was that Larry was named as a co-conspirator. But let's read it. Okay. We're going to share the screen. We're going to read through it. Y'all know how we do. You saw hibiscus. Okay, I'm not crazy. Why are y'all trying to make me think? Listen. Them churn made me crazy today. The day before the holiday, them churn was making me crazy. Child. Tracy said, look at page 1. I'm about to read it. I could have sworn I read it, but I'm about to read it again. All right. Show them page 1. Well, we're about to look at, we're about to look at the whole thing. You know how we do over here. All right, let me make it bigger. Can y'all see it? Do I need to make it bigger? All right, hold on. Let me come over. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Y'all know what I'm reading. I can't read the thing and read the chat at the same time. Okay. All right. Now let's read through it. Plaintiff Thomas Dexter Jakes is suing Dwayne Youngblood and Does 1 through 10. So he is naming that there are some John Does / Jane Does connected. Okay. The show and his name is in the lawsuit, but he is not listed. Right. No. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. But it is okay. We're gonna read through it because we're gonna read through it. All right. Nature of the action. The lawsuit sounds in the tort of defamation and and civil conspiracy to commit defamation. Remember, and Pam taught us this lesson the other day. Defamation is civil. And slander is criminal. Not what's the one that she said was criminal? Not slander. What is it? Shoot. Anyway, this is a civil case, child. The underlying story in this case depicts a carefully planned effort by a convicted criminal and those acting in concert with him to rewrite history in order to deflect blame and accountability for his own reprehensible and criminal conduct, and to publicly smear a renowned and eminently respected religious leader in a blatant and explicit attempt to extort him for millions of dollars. This lawsuit is intended to bring that scheme to a halt, to end the extreme emotional, physical, and spiritual toll defendant's conduct has caused Bishop Jakes, to set the record straight so the world understands the patent falsity of the accusations, and to restore Bishop Jakes' reputation. Listen, they don't spend 3 years in law school for nothing. That's all I can say. The balcony is open. Angela say the balcony is open, child. Libel, that's the word. Thank you, Abby. Libel is the word I'm with. Hey, Thais. Thais said he had to lock up the Mulligan's Media Center, and y'all took him on a field trip. Thank you, Thais. That's my boo thing. Y'all know that's my boo. Thank you, boo, for coming through and sending your Thai squatter. I started seeing them green hearts. I said Thais must be on the way because I started seeing them green hearts drop. Thank you, boo. All right, and we got some stuff to talk about. Let's get into it, though. Parties. Plaintiff Bishop T.D. Jakes is a world-renowned spiritual leader, global philanthropist, author, film and music producer, and the founder of the Potter's House Church in Dallas, Texas. He is a U.S. citizen and a resident of Dallas, Texas. The defendant, Dwayne Youngblood, is a registered SEX offender. I'm not laughing at what he's done, y'all. I'm laughing at they went from world-renowned philanthropist, Dwayne Youngblood is a registered blah, blah, blah in the state of Pennsylvania and a 2-time convicted felon related to sexual abuse of minors. He is a U.S. citizen and a resident of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. On information and belief, plaintiff alleges the defendants and John Does 1 through 10, inclusive are other parties not yet identified who have acted in concert and agreement with Youngblood in order to commit defamatory conduct against plaintiff and have committed acts in furtherance of such wrongdoing. The true names, whether corporate, individual, or otherwise, of Does 1 through 10 inclusive are presently not fully known to the plaintiff. which therefore sues said defendants by such fictitious names and will seek leave to amend this complaint to show their true names and capacities when the same has been ascertained. So y'all know that. Thank you, Fran, for renewing your membership, boo. Thank you, my love. Y'all know that Larry Reid has been saying that there are others, right? So that John Doe 1 through 10 is reserved for the others if and when they come out and share their story, if and when. So that's what. So this lawsuit is for you, Dwayne, and anybody coming behind you. That's what they say. Anybody coming behind you. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. On information and belief, plaintiff alleges that at all times relevant hereto, each of the defendants acted in concert and agreement with each other for the objective of intentionally committing defamatory acts against plaintiff, with full knowledge of all the facts and circumstances, including but not limited to full knowledge of the votive conduct at issue and damages to the plaintiff caused thereby. They talk about jurisdiction and venue. Y'all know that's just them establishing that they have a right to sue in the place where they're suing. Okay. Factual allegations. So here are the allegations. Now, I'm just going to tell y'all, this is TD Jakes' resume. Okay. This is TD Jakes' resume. Sir James says the medical emergency the other day was to deflect from the controversy. You know how they do. Just fake something for sympathy. Listen. Now, according to the word on the street, now this is the word on the street talking. It's not me. It's the word on the street talking. It's not me. But according to the word on the street, Bishop Jakes got some mail last week that made him a little nervous. Now, the word on the street said that Bishop Jakes got some mail last week that made him a little nervous. Now, I'm not saying that. So maybe Sunday morning he was up there and he was, having a moment. And something came over him. Okay. Because I saw that video. I saw that video. Okay. I'm going to just leave it at I saw it. All right. Let's keep going, y'all. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. This section right here is his resume. Can we assert and accept that Bishop Jakes, is a mega church? He's written best-selling. He's a best-selling author. He's a producer. He's a Grammy Award winner. He's a humanitarian. Can we just assert that we accept all these things? Can we assert that, he preached at, the morning of President Obama's inauguration? Can we just go on and just assert all these things? He has humble roots of a pastor of a 10-member storefront church in West Virginia in the early 1980s. Do we need to read through all of this? Can we just assert that all these things are true? Can we all just come together and our hearts and mind alike? Can we just assert that these things are true? Because y'all, do we need to read through all of that? He been on CNN and the NAACP Image Awards. And can we just assert these things? Okay. All right. We're just going to assert these things. All right. Because I just, I just feel like we know these things. All right. Let's keep reading. Defendant Dwayne Youngblood is convicted on multiple occasions for offenses against minors. Y'all know what the word I'm leaving out. Y'all know we got to be careful. Now, I am going to read this because I do not think that y'all are as familiar with Dwayne Youngblood as y'all are with TD Jakes. I feel like we all know TD Jakes. If y'all don't know TD Jakes, then y'all just have to Google it. But it says, in stark contrast, Dwayne Youngblood is registered as a lifetime XCX offender in the state of Pennsylvania and is currently under supervision by the state's Department of Parole with parole. Child, they didn't put the man parole number. They don't put, y'all, they don't put the man parole number in. They don't put the man parole number in the lawsuit. Anyway, Youngblood has repeatedly and uncontrollably assaulted young children since at least 2002. On all occasions, Youngblood has pled guilty and admitted to his heinous crimes. In 2006, at the time, pastor of a church in Homestead, Youngblood was first arrested on charges of assault and corruption of minors and other charges. In that case, he was accused of assaulting a 15-year-old in 2002 while counseling the boy. The teen sought counseling from Youngblood because a cousin had assaulted him, according to a police affidavit. As part of a plea deal, Youngblood was sentenced to a year of house arrest and 7 years of probation. Part of that deal prohibited Youngblood from counseling children. Despite the conviction, Youngblood was unsatisfied. In 2014, Youngblood was charged with inappropriately touching 2 teen victims, and in one instance, on or about 25 occasions while he was counseling a youth between 2009 and 2011. With respect to that victim, counseling sessions in Youngblood's church often began when the victim was 16 and ended when the victim was 18, at which point the victim told Youngblood he no longer wanted to participate in counseling, according to the criminal complaint. In another, Youngblood had relations with a youth over a 3-week period. Youngblood pled guilty and was sentenced to 16 to 48 months in prison, and in 2015, and 3 years of probation. Nevertheless, while on parole, Youngblood conspired with others to harm and profit from attacks on prominent Black religious figures, including Bishop Jakes, and as more fully elaborated here in below. Now, let me say this. The reason why Youngblood was doing the interview with Larry Reid to begin with was to speak on how the abused become the abuser. So all of these things he disclosed in the interview with Larry Reid. So again, we did talk about it over here, and when Larry Reid did discuss it on his platform. So none of this is a surprise either, but I just know that you guys are probably not as familiar with him, and that's why I read it. So I don't want nobody to be like, why you read all the bad, but you didn't read none of the good about TDJ. Child, okay, we know it. All right. On October the 28th, 2024, Youngblood sat for an over 2-hour-long interview on Larry Reid Live, an online video podcast hosted by Larry Reid that boasts of having over 150,000 subscribers on YouTube alone. The October 28th episode of LRL was broadcast live to tens of thousands of online viewers on the Larry Reid Live YouTube and Facebook accounts. The episode was titled Larry Reid Live Interviews Dwayne Youngblood, the accused becoming the abuser. Excuse me, the abused becoming the abuser. I said accused. Youngblood began his interview by misleading viewers about the circumstances of his convictions and incarceration. Youngblood lied to LRL viewers about the circumstances of his 2015 conviction, claiming it was only because he was communicating with minors when he was not allowed to. The actual truth, which Youngblood concealed from LRL audience, was that he violated his parole not because he had simply communicated with minors when he was not allowed to, but rather because he had been caught inappropriately touching 2 teen victims during counseling sessions between 2009 and 2011, and of engaging in abuse over a 3-week period with a teenage victim. The interview later turned to Youngblood's new claim about how the source of his becoming an abuser was his own abuse at the hands of pastors and religious figures he encountered in his youth. After detailing instances of his own father abusing his sister and of his abuse at the hands of other church leaders, Youngblood turned his ire on Bishop Jakes. From the moment Youngblood brought up his allegations about Bishop Jakes, roughly an hour into the interview, he and Mr. Reid spent mostly the entirety of the rest of the interview on Bishop Jakes and Youngblood's claim that Bishop Jakes tried to groom and abuse him. Youngblood's story about Bishop Jakes on the October 28th episode of LRL was that When the now 58-year-old Youngblood was 18 or 19 years of age, Bishop Jakes, after talking to Youngblood for 2 hours at the home of an elder clergywoman where Bishop Jakes was staying while supporting the church's local revival program, wrapped his arms around Youngblood and tried to kiss him. And then they insert the actual transcript from that interview. Okay? I'm not going to read it. Again, we talked about it. If you want to hear the actual word for word, go over to Larry Reid and y'all can go listen to it as many times as y'all want. Okay. Next, according to Youngblood, Bishop Jakes called Youngblood the following morning. Again, he goes into what happened the next morning where he alleged that Bishop Jakes called him and told him, I will read y'all this quote. He said, allegedly, this is what Bishop Jakes said to him. There are 3 things I need you to do. First one is, when I come to Pittsburgh, you're going to be the only person I sleep with. The second one is, you can't sleep with anyone else because I don't want to give my wife anything. And thirdly, I will take care of you the rest of your life. That allegedly is what Bishop Jakes said to Dwayne Youngblood after trying to kiss him the night before. Allegedly. Okay. Youngblood then went on to describe how he did not tell his mother what happened, but that she made him go to church services that night where Bishop Jakes not only preached, but called Youngblood up to the pulpit to read for him. Youngblood ended his story by claiming that there is so much more to me and Bishop Jakes and my family, and Bishop Jakes, the absolute destructive actual damage, but this thing was so extremely damaging. Later on October the 28th, LRL episode, Youngblood described an encounter with Bishop Jakes, where years later he had to drive Jakes and his wife to a hotel after a conference. According to Youngblood, he accompanied Bishop Jakes and his wife back to their hotel room, and after Miss Jakes went to sleep, Youngblood confronted Bishop Jakes and asked him, why did you do what you did? To which Bishop Jakes responded, my stock is rising and I would have had sex with anybody at that time. Okay. I don't know. I understand what that means, but okay. Less than a week later, on November the 3rd of 2024, Youngblood returned to LRL for part 2. Larry Reid live interviews Dwayne Youngblood when the abused become the abuser. In part 2, Youngblood doubled down on the same false story, and this time made sure that all of the LRL viewers knew that he was not just accusing Bishop Jakes of trying to have a actual relationship with him, but rather that his story was one of actual abuse. When pressed by Reid to further describe how this allegation that Bishop Jakes groomed him was predatory in nature, Youngblood made it clear that he was accusing Jakes of attempted actual assault. So this is what he said in clarification. What may have been misunderstood is that Bishop Jakes got up, came around the table, and positioned himself in a corner that I had to walk past. When I was walking past that corner, he grabbed me. He is in the corner and grabbed me to himself, looked down into my face, and then tried to bend his head down to kiss me on my lips. So that is what he allegedly, that's from the transcript. That's what he said. Youngblood then doubled down and described again the phone call he claims he had with Bishop Jakes, just as he did in the October 28th interview, stating in no uncertain terms that to him, that is absolutely forcing your position, your idea onto that person. In part 2, Mr. Reid also makes it clear exactly what Youngblood was accusing Bishop Jakes of doing, stating at the 39-minute mark that Bishop Jakes he groomed you. And Youngblood doubled down on his claim that Jakes did this to Youngblood because his stock was rising and he would have slept with anybody. As for his part, Reid went into great lengths to try and bolster Youngblood's credibility, claiming in part 2 that Youngblood feels honest to Reid. And it doesn't feel that you're mad. You don't seem mad at all. You don't feel like you're trying to get back at anybody. You're just telling your story. To which Youngblood nods and agrees throughout. Youngblood's intent and motive for making these allegations would be made absolutely clear with his exorbitant financial demands weeks later, as for more fully elaborated here within. Okay. Let me take a pause there. Let me come to the chat for a second. Okay. Y'all talking about Black Friday, child. Y'all ain't here talking about Black Friday. Let me see what the chat. Y'all ain't time to go back to the thing. This will only have more people listen to the interview he did with Larry Reid. I agree, Nola, because I'm telling y'all, I ain't about to sit here and read everything. Y'all going over there, and it's a 2-hour-long interview. And we talked about it. If y'all want to hear the Cliff Notes, I did a video on it. Thais did a video on it. If you want the Cliff Notes, y'all check it out, okay? Or you can go to Larry Reid and get the whole dang on thing. Okay. So I take it Youngblood is the only one with the criminal past because they stressed his past with minors but never stated how they knew each other. Where Jake's messed up, in my opinion, is that he forgot about the other allegations that can be brought up in this case, and therefore Pandora's box will burn with all of the information it holds. Brown Mama, hold on to that, Brown Mama, because we're gonna get to that. That's why I'm trying to push through this lawsuit, because I got some stuff I want to tell y'all on the other end, okay? Then because I listened to what Larry Reid had to say, and I listened to Pam, okay? So, and I also got some information somebody sent me today. Shout out to you. That I'm gonna read to you guys as well. So we're gonna talk about that, Brown Mama. You hold on to that one, girl. You hold on to that. Wonder why all accusations he decided to sue this guy. Ooh, good. I know why. I can tell you why. Because, well, I can't say I tell you why. In my opinion, I think part of the reason why is because he does have the checkered past, and he is a convicted felon for the same thing that he's accusing TD Jakes of. And I think they feel like that's the person whose credibility they can knock down the most. That's my opinion. I don't know that to be true. I ain't nobody's attorney. Doesn't sound like Youngblood's story ever changed. Ooh, Chuck. That's what Chuck said. Okay. Youngblood's accusations on Larry Reid Live about Bishop Jakes are false, and he knew it when he made them. So, let me read through this. From start to finish, Youngblood's tale of grooming and attempted sexual assault at the hands of Bishop Jakes is patently false. Bishop Jakes never kissed or tried to kiss Youngblood, never cornered him or forced him into any situation, sexual or otherwise, and certainly never told him he wanted to sleep with him or had any conversation of a sexual nature with him at all. All interactions described by Youngblood during his LRL interviews on October the 28th and November the 3rd never happened, period. Indeed, the very context and nature of Youngblood's accusations rendered them unbelievable. Youngblood, having served years for molesting and assaulting minors that he himself was supposed to counsel and mentor through his church, is a desperate attempt to rehabilitate his image and build a new ministry for himself. His playbook is clear. Accuse what seems to be every other prominent church leader he has ever met of grooming and preying on him, and then blame them for his own criminal predatory conduct after he has been finally released from prison as a 2-time convicted felon and lifetime registered offender. Indeed, his blatant lies to LRL viewers and the circumstances of his own convictions and incarcerations are proof that this is all just one big lie to try to rewrite history for his own personal gain. Youngblood's October 28th and November the 3rd appearances, falsely targeting and attacking Jakes, go viral. Just as Youngblood hoped, his October the 28th and November 3rd appearances went viral. Part 1 has over 120,000 views, making it one of the most viewed LRL episodes in history, even though it's been posted for less than a month. And Part 2 garnered over 25,000 views since it was posted on November the 3rd. Moreover, clips featuring Youngblood's false story about Bishop Jakes posted to the Larry Reid Live YouTube account attracted tens of thousands more views. The LRL interviews are also posted to other Larry Reid social media accounts, including Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, where they garnered hundreds of thousands of additional views, as well as to Larry Reid's website, LarryReid.live.com, where they tallied even more views. The spread of Youngblood's false allegations, as expected, did not stop with just Larry Reid's social media and online platforms. Predictably and foreseeably, Youngblood's story went viral, being republished, reposted, and commented on by numerous other social media users and influencers like me. For example, Newsbreak, which boasted over 26 million monthly readers, published at least 5 separate stories on Youngblood's accusations against Jakes. And Youngblood's false accusations were republished by other YouTubers and TikTok influencers to hundreds of thousands of additional viewers. All told, it's likely that over 1 million people have been exposed to Youngblood's lies about Jakes. Well, that answers your question about why he sued him. There you go. That's why he sued him. That's why they sued him, okay? Incredibly, the defendants' malicious efforts to smear Bishop Jakes' reputation was only part of the plan. Prototypically, of course, their motivation was also deeply rooted in immediate financial gain. Days after the second podcast on information and belief, the defendants retained a lawyer in New York to represent Youngblood in a blatant attempt for a money grab. By letter dated November the 15th of 2024, a lawyer purporting to represent Youngblood demanded that Bishop Jakes pay Youngblood $6 million in order to resolve this matter quickly and privately. Otherwise, Youngblood would bring a lawsuit against Bishop Jakes for assault and harassment. The motivation of the demand letter was clear: pay millions of dollars. Otherwise, the podcast strategy and other similar tactics of attempting to publicly harass and shame Jakes would continue. Fundamentally, federal crime law punishes blackmail. Okay, I got to stop right there. Y'all, that's not blackmail. We've talked about this before, you guys. In a civil lawsuit, the remedy in a civil lawsuit is financial. So if he's suing him in a civil lawsuit, the remedy is financial. Lawyers send demand letters all the time saying, hey, my client is going to sue you if we cannot come to some sort of resolution. And in most cases like this, when the resolution is reached, absolutely you sign an agreement saying you're not going to talk about it, you're not going to speak on it. Now, I was listening to Thais earlier, and Ray, my boo Ray Bishop, was saying, if the goal is to expose Jakes and let the world know what Jakes has done, why would you be willing to take money to shut up? Well, you know, I can't speak for other people's motives, but that's a good point that Ray brought up. Like, look, if your goal is to let people know what's going on and make people aware of what's happening, you know, why are you willing to take money? But we know that, you know, I tell you what, I bet you if Sean Diddy Combs could put his ass in a time machine and go back to October the 1st of 2023, or was it 2024? Sorry. No, 2023. I bet you if Sean Combs could go back into a time machine and go back to when his lawyers got that demand letter from Cassie. I don't give a damn what Cassie was asking for. I bet you if he knew then what he know now, I bet you he'd have paid it. I bet you he'd have paid it. If it was $30 million that Cassie was asking, I bet you he'd have gave her $30 million. Diddy done lost more than $30 million based on the lawsuit. Diddy done lost more than $30 million. His reputation will never, I don't care if they drop the charges tomorrow, his reputation will never be the same. Now, I'm not saying he won't be successful. I'm not saying he won't still be rich, but it'll never be the same. J12 said, but what if it's all a lie? Let me tell you something. And I remember Whoopi Goldberg saying this years ago. She said people settle stuff all the time that they know it's a lie because sometimes you have to weigh the cost-benefit analysis. Again, whether Diddy, and we've seen the tape. We ain't going to go down that road with Diddy. But let's just assume for a minute that Cassie was lying on Diddy. Or exaggerating. Knowing what we know now, was it worth it? I'm just saying. And again, I understand. Listen, you can stand on business and be like, I ain't do nothing. You ain't getting a penny out of me. Sure. But if there's even an ounce, a teensy, wincy, itsy, bitsy ounce and chance that a person can show any proof that anything that you said was true and accurate, it's worth it to settle the lawsuit. In Diddy's case, once Cassie filed her lawsuit, there was how many other lawsuits right behind it? And then, of course, the video comes out. If that video had never come out, it still wouldn't have been worth it with everything that Diddy has gone through in this last year. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Remember where we were this time last year with Diddy, y'all? Remember where we were this time last year? We were all like, oh my gosh, Cassie. Oh my gosh, Cassie. And it ain't been the same for him since. It has not been the same for him since. But, you know, again, but that's something you will have to make a decision on. But if I'm a billionaire, and I even think that you have some information that's going to make it, listen. Let's get back to this, y'all. Let's get back to this. But yeah, I'm not going to go down that road of blackmail. We know that in civil cases, that's the remedy. The remedy is money. Okay, it goes on to talk about that, child. We're going to keep going through that. Okay. Youngblood spread knowingly false accusations about one of the most respected and preeminent religious figures. He did so for the most morally corrupt reasons, to rehabilitate his image, explain away his own criminal and horrific sexual conduct, and ultimately to profit significantly. The financial harm Youngblood's knowingly false accusations have caused Jakes are monumental and devastating. Jakes has been the spiritual rock for millions of Christians all over the world, particularly in the African American community. Youngblood's viral allegations that Bishop Jakes groomed, preyed on, and abused and assaulted him as a young minister have tarnished Jakes' reputation. Hundreds of thousands, if not more, have seen and heard Youngblood's accusations, and because of the lies Youngblood and his co-conspirators have told to bolster his credibility, those viewers are likely to believe Youngblood's knowingly false story. In addition to, and even more devastating than, the millions of dollars in reputational harm Youngblood has caused, Youngblood's lies have put in jeopardy the critical philanthropic missions Jakes spearheads and has likely impaired significantly the benefits that the recipients of such efforts receive. Youngblood's intentional and malicious lies have taken a substantial emotional and physical toll on Jakes. Physical toll. We saw that on Sunday, didn't we? On November 24th, the day before he filed this action, Jakes suffered a medical crisis on stage in the middle of his Sunday service in front of his entire church. And everybody online too, huh? Can I ask a question? I got a question. Y'all notice how they just keep saying medical crisis? Nobody's really saying what this crisis was. It was just a medical crisis. Did y'all see that video clip? I'm not going to show it, but did y'all see the video clip from Sunday service with TD Jakes? Did y'all see it? Now, I don't watch Jakes every Sunday. I don't. I'm going to just be honest with y'all. I do not watch TD Jakes every Sunday. So I do not know how often he sits down and how often he stands up. I don't know. I do not know. And I'm telling y'all now, I don't watch him regularly. So I do not know. So those of you who watch the Potter's House regularly, tell me how often y'all see him standing up and how often y'all see him sitting down. Now, I'm not saying he was faking nothing. We just having a conversation. I ain't saying he was faking nothing. We just having a conversation. Now, with that being said, did y'all see when he stopped talking? And then he took the mic and leaned the mic down? Is it me? Or did it seem like it took a long time for anybody to get to him? He sat there did they think he had gone into prayer? Because he sat there for a long time before anybody ran up on that stage. And I'm not saying he was faking it, y'all. That ain't what I'm saying. Don't nobody go back and say Really B said he faked it, because I didn't say that. I just was wondering, because as I watched the clip, I was like, ain't nobody gonna go do nothing. They see that, right? It looked like he fell asleep. But I was like, ain't nobody just gonna go over there. Did they think he went into prayer? Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe that's what it was. They thought he went into prayer. Pinkerbell said, when I was watching it, I'd never seen him sitting down if he was preaching. I'd never seen it either. I have seen him walking around. I've seen when he, again, I don't watch him every Sunday, so I don't know. I'm asking y'all. Okay. They knew he was faking, allegedly, like whitehead people. Not like whitehead people knew he was. Right. Tasha said she's saying it either, but she questioned it. We just have questions. Let's get back to this lawsuit, because I got some other stuff to share with you. I know I keep telling y'all that, but we're going to get back to this lawsuit. Okay. Bishop Jakes believed with all his heart the actual victims of abuse should be treated with the utmost respect, kindness, empathy, and sympathy, and that true perpetrators of such abuse should be held accountable for their actions. But this is not the case here. Youngblood has used and abused the might of social media and the legal process to re-victimize those he preyed on and harmed, to make knowingly false accusations for his own personal and financial gain. Men like Youngblood must be held accountable for their abuse of the system and for setting back those with legitimate and real allegations of abuse. Jakes brings this lawsuit to hold men like Youngblood accountable for their shameful acts and to set the record straight. This is where they're asking for a claim for relief. Here it is right here. Again, they're going through the accusations and stuff again, child. Let me see. Hold on. Let me hold on. Yeah, they're just more quotes from the from what he said on Larry Reid. Larry Reid. Okay, Larry Reid. He's saying that all the statements are false and defamatory. Everything he said is libelous. I'm going through it now, y'all, because I feel like a lot of stuff is repetitive. We've already sort of established that he's saying that ain't true, child. In addition to, so this is what I want to read about Larry Reid. Okay. In addition to knowing his statements were false when he made them, because he was a firsthand witness to his interactions with Jakes, he knows that he was never, I'm sorry. I thought that was what he was saying about Larry Reid. Never mind. They still talking about what he said, child. All right. Okay. Youngblood defamatory statements, the right, but no appropriate legal authorization. Time to resume. Okay. All right. Okay. This part I do want to read. On information and belief, Youngblood and those acting in concert with him, i.e. the co-conspirators, worked together to publish and broadcast the false claim by Bishop Jakes, groomed him and assaulted him. Youngblood on a podcast reaching over 100,000 persons, knowing that making such false claims on a podcast that reached such a broad audience of listeners would harm Jakes. To wit, co-conspirator number one falsely claimed in sum and substance during the podcast that Bishop Jakes had engaged in settlement discussions with Youngblood regarding his claims. So he didn't say Larry Reid's name, but he's talking about Larry Reid, y'all. He's talking about Larry Reid. So somebody earlier said he never said Larry Reid, but he's talking about co-conspirator number one has the podcast of over 100,000 subscribers. He done already said that's with this whole lawsuit is about the interview on Larry Reid's podcast, y'all. Like, I'm gonna need y'all to stop playing with me sometimes. I think sometimes y'all, I don't know, sometimes y'all be serious or sometimes y'all be playing with me. But the man said this whole lawsuit is about his interview on Larry Reid's platform that has over 100,000 views. So when they say the co-conspirator acted in concert to publish and they talk about the podcast with 100,000, 150,000 views. Like, y'all stop playing with me. Now I know he talking about Larry Reid. Stop playing. On information and belief, this statement by co-conspirator number one was done intentionally in order to give credence to a patina of credibility to Youngblood's false statements, even though co-conspirator number one was aware that efforts by Bishop Jakes to play Youngblood to avoid him making such statements was knowingly false. Now, Larry Reid said it on his platform that he knew that there were efforts made in the back rooms to try to resolve this situation. Now, that's what I'm paraphrasing. But that's what Larry Reid said on his platform, and he doubled down and said it again on Pam's last night. So not only did he say it on his platform, he doubled down and said it again last night. And he'll probably say, if I know Larry Reid the way I think I know Larry Reid, and I ain't saying I know Larry Reid, don't y'all start that lie and say, well, really B say she friends with Larry. That ain't what I said. But if I know Larry Reid the way I think I know Larry Reid will say it again. He said it once. He said it twice, and 3 times a lady. He'll say it again. So when they put it in the lawsuit, y'all, they talking about Larry Reid. Stop playing with me. And for the people who like, really be, why you mad? Because, you know, I come down here, I do these lives. And Thais, if you still here, Thais know what I'm talking about. You get ready to get into your thug thizzle. You get ready to get into your content. And then you got these trolls that'll drop down in the chat and be like, that ain't what they said. They didn't say that. And I'm sorry if I'm calling you a troll and you're not a troll, but you was doing some troll stuff. And it's like you trying to get me off my content before I even get started in my content. You're going to tell me what it didn't say. I know I can read. I've read the lawsuit. I know I can read. I got comprehension. Sheesh. Moving right along. We're going to finish this up because I have a few things. Again, I keep telling y'all that, but I have another live I got to get to. So hold on. Once again, they're talking about the what was said on Larry Reid's platform. They're saying that Larry knew it wasn't true. The first podcast on October the 28th, Youngblood and his co-conspirators. Nobody else was on that live but Youngblood and Larry Reid. So who they talking about, y'all? On October the 28th in 2024, nobody was there but Larry Reid and Dwayne Youngblood. So who the co-conspirator? Then they saying they did a second one. Again, hours long. Due to Youngblood and his co-conspirators' defamatory acts, Bishop Jakes has suffered general and specific damages in the amount to be established at trial. On information and belief, Youngblood alleges that defendants and each of them have committed defamatory acts and or acts in furtherance of against Bishop Jakes is alleged above, which were willful, intentional, and malicious, with subjects, defendants, and each of them to liability. And then they get into the prayer for relief. They're saying what the legal is, and then that's it. Now, let me say this to you guys. Again, don't pick up that rock if it wasn't for you. Don't pick up that rock if it wasn't for you. For people start saying, really be all I said, then I wasn't talking to you. Ronald said, who are the 10 John Does? Ronald, we don't know. They John Does. And I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm really not. We do not know. But that's a good question that takes me into some of the information I wanted to share with you. So Larry Reid went on his live and he addressed it. Obviously, he spoke on it. He did commentary on it. And one of the things that Larry said, and he went on Pam's last night and he doubled down on it. His thing was, because Pam said, well, Larry, you know you're going to get subpoenaed. Maybe not say. She said, Larry, you probably going to get, maybe she said probably. I don't want to put words in her mouth either. Larry said, I'm okay with that. You know why Larry said he's okay with that? Because he said, I'm going to tell the truth. And what Larry said, y'all have to believe Larry. Y'all don't have to believe Larry. But I'm telling you what the man said. What Larry said was, they can subpoena me if they want to. I'm paraphrasing. They can subpoena me if they want to, but I'm going to tell the truth. And that truth, it might help Jakes. It might help Youngblood. It might help one of these John Does. But if they ask me, I'm going to tell the truth. And I know, this is what Larry is saying. I ain't making this up. Y'all can go hear Larry say it. He said it himself. I know of more people who have alleged the same thing. I have seen receipts. Now, Larry's version of a receipt might not meet the burden of what you think a receipt is, okay? Larry's version of a receipt, I'm going to say that again. Larry's version of a receipt might not be your definition of a receipt. But Larry said he has seen receipts that leave no shadow of a doubt in his mind. In his mind. He said that he knows that phone calls were made to try and talk to Youngblood. He said because some of them phone calls came to me. Now I'm telling you what Larry said. Larry said, I know that there were people who alleged that they were representing TD Jakes' camp that were reaching out to Youngblood because they came through me. Oh, Street, I've been here. You must not be getting my notifications. I've been here, boo. Now, what Larry also said was, do I need to pull out the mic for this part? Let me pull out the mic for this part. What Larry also said was, Youngblood didn't say everything on those interviews. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Larry said Youngblood did not say everything in those interviews. Now, that's what he said. Now, I don't know what everything is, but he said he didn't say everything. Thank you, Andrew. He also said that those phone calls that allegedly came from TD Jakes' camp trying to reach a settlement with Youngblood, he said he got audio recordings. I'm sorry. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. He said he has audio recordings of those phone calls. Thank you. Thank you. And y'all know it's Juvia's Place. My lipstick is Juvia's Place. Where'd I put it? I don't remember the name of it, but it's Juvia's Place. Thank you, boo. Now, it's almost 300 of y'all in here. If y'all could please hit that like button. If you want to tip me, you can. Y'all know tips are not required, but they're appreciated and accepted. And if you want to tip Tracy, y'all know Tracy pulled this lawsuit. So if y'all want to tip Tracy, y'all can tip her too. Y'all know where I got it from. It was in my inbox before I even asked for it. Y'all know where I got it from. So if you want to tip me or tip Tracy, go and hit the Cash App. And there we go. Now, Larry Reid comes correct like old girl TK. Ooh. Now, let me say this. Larry Reid said that he didn't think filing this lawsuit was a good idea. And his reasoning was because now, and this goes back to what Brown Mama said a few minutes ago, because now it opens up that Pandora's box. Now it opens up that Pandora's box. Because now you subpoena Larry, you subpoena Youngblood, you subpoena Manasseh, you subpoena some of these other people that have been floating around. And when they get to telling their story, And maybe they have more facts. Maybe they have more details. Maybe they have more evidence. And I ain't saying that Jakes is guilty. I'm just saying if you are, even just a little bit, you've now opened up Pandora's box. I'm sorry, Miss Baything, your grandmother, sending love and hugs, my love. Sending love and hugs to you, baby. Now, allegedly, I told y'all, and I'm going to read y'all one more thing, and then we're going to get out of here. And for the person who sent me this, if you are still in the bushes, you drop down. I don't want to say your name. I don't want to say your name if you don't want me to say your name. Somebody sent something in my inbox today, and I already saw them in the chat. So if you want me to say your name and give you credit, I don't have no problem giving you credit, okay? I don't have no problem giving you credit. Just let me know. Just put something in the chat so I'll know you want me to say your name, okay? Or send me an inbox or something. Let me know, because I don't want to say your name. If you don't want me to say your name, because people slide you stuff. You just want to make sure that they want their name put on it. But I'm gonna read you guys something. The mic is my sidekick working overtime tonight. Yes, honey, the mic working tonight. I need to work. The mic is working tonight. Now the other thing, so that's what Larry Reid said. And again, I know some of y'all don't rock with Larry Reid, and some of y'all ain't really feeling Larry Reid. I get that, and I respect that. I respect how everybody feels, and I'm not saying that Jakes is guilty or innocent. Listen, I don't know none of these people. I don't know none of these people, and I don't know none of these people's stories. I'm hearing it, I'm listening, and I'm just gonna wait and see what color the walls turn. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna sit back and wait and see what color these walls turn. I feel like if this lawsuit goes further and people start getting subpoenaed and people have to start giving depositions, I just think that's gonna be ugly. And when I say ugly, that doesn't mean because I think that Jakes is guilty. I just think a lot of dirty laundry will be put out there, whether it's truth or lies. Because let's call a thing, right? Let's just, and I'm gonna read y'all this but let me say this to you guys. If you believe that Youngblood is telling the truth, then by filing this lawsuit and opening up this Pandora's box, then all you're doing is giving other quote unquote victims the opportunity to tell their story, right? If you believe Youngblood is lying, but by filing this lawsuit, does it not just open the door and give him a bigger platform to tell more lies? Listen, this man is a 2-time convicted felon. What he got to lose? And I'm not saying he's telling the truth or he's not telling the truth, but what he got to lose? If the man is a 2-time convicted felon, y'all say he's trying to revamp and restart his ministry, and we already know that there's certain things he can or cannot do as it relates to youth and all of that. What does he have to lose by telling more stories? He said he got more to tell. Now the man said he got more to tell. Now let me read y'all this that somebody sent me today in my inbox. Like I said, if you want me to give you credit, y'all know I don't have no problem giving you credit, okay? This is dated Thursday, July the 31st of 2008. Okay, Kiki said TD Jakes has a right to defend his reputation. You are absolutely correct. He does. He has 100% right to. You're absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. Thank you for the Cash App. VH. I don't know if you want me to say your name. Thank you, VH, for the Cash App. And somebody else sent me a Cash App. Hold on. Let me thank you too before I forget, because I hate when I get off of here and I see a Cash App and I forgot to say who. Oh, Lord, somebody sent me a Cash App last week. Oh, Lord Jesus. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I didn't see it. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Thank you, Tarshell. Thank you for the Cash App, my love. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, somebody sent for Turkey Day. Thank you, my love. Thank you, VH. Thank you. I'm going to say your initial because I don't know if you want me saying your government name. Tarshell, I already know your name is in the chat, so I don't want to be calling people government name if they don't want it. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. All right. But let me read y'all this information that was sent to me. Now, this was coming from a blog spot. Y'all remember blog spots back in the day? If you old enough to remember, y'all know blog spot. Everybody was starting a blog, and blog spot was like a template, like StreamYard, so to speak, where you could set it up, and it was like a template where you would upload it, and it would be your website for your blog. So this was from a blog spot dated July the 31st of 2008. Now the title of it is Bishop Jakes Still GAY? That's what it's called. I'm going to read it to y'all. It's a little lengthy. Thank you, Jay. Thank you for the super chat, my love. For the cash out, my love. Expensive tailored suits, people screaming, shouting, and dancing. A great spoken word with an amazingly clear picture being painted. This looks like the move of God. It seems like we have built that tower whose top reached up to heaven. Certainly, Christianity is at its greatest level since Jesus died for her. After all, Apostle Paul was a great preacher, but Bishop Jakes and friends are even greater still. Conferences where people have spent mortgage payments in order to attend, book sales, CDs, DVDs, and even clothing. It is a regular Walmart. Thousands of people in attendance and millions watching around the world. This is phenomenal. Does being phenomenal mean God is doing the work? Bishop Jakes has done a wonderful job flying under the radar of concerning what he really represents, but the time has come for the hype to be exposed and the truth to be told. There are many people who know the truth concerning this man and his ministry, but are too afraid to speak because there is an automatic assumption that because something is popular, God is in it. Let me be very clear. Bishop Jakes is not who many believe him to be. All of the mighty speeches and mesmerizing phrases are not what they appear to be. Bishop Jakes and his kind are spoken of in the Word of God. Jude verses 4 talks about men who crept in. The word crept in the past tense of the word creep. In other words, Bishop Jakes is a creep. I don't mean it to be funny, nor is it intended to be offensive, but it's true. Let me explain. I have known Bishop Jakes for quite some time. I met him before the world embraced him as the next Billy Graham or before he made his many millions of dollars. I met him when he was Elder Thomas Jakes. At first, I was equally mesmerized by his ability to preach the word and seems easy for him, but difficult for others to see in the Word of God. He shared with me how he is an avid Bible reader and told me the way he read was the reason he could see what others did not. He would share many things with me that seemed to be a help to my ministry. Eventually, I became his armor bearer. This allowed me to see ministry from a completely different angle. I saw backroom deals that I never knew happened, as well as backdoor deals that were a total shock. More on that later. Bishop Jakes had started climbing the ladder and preaching circles around the tri-state area and seemed to just have doors open for him without much effort. He would tell me of stories of other preachers and their involvement in scandal after scandal, always remarking that it was shameful and that he was supportive of the leaders who were under the demonic attack. I would later find out he was supportive because he was exactly what they were. And the person said homosexual. I have had an amazing level of warfare of the knowledge that I have concerning Bishop Jakes. I have sought godly counsel from men whom I respect to only be told that it was my responsibility to cover him. I brought it to him and did what I thought was right until month after month passed and then year after year, and I would hear of young men that he was introducing to an unholy lifestyle. I could only ask God to help me with what I should do about what I knew. After much travail in prayer and also after enduring an amazing onslaught from people who used to be my friends, I have come to one conclusion. First, I've asked God to forgive me for my attempts. I've asked God to forgive me for my silence while Bishop Jakes was not successful in his attempt to. He did everything he could to try to convince me. After seeing that I would not fall for his tactic, he said something to me that to this day still reverberates in my ear. Sometimes too much light hurts the eyes. At first, I had no idea what he meant, then later understood he was saying to me that he had revealed too much of himself to me. Duh. Okay. Y'all, it goes on and on and on and on and on. Y'all get the point. Y'all get the point of what the man is telling us, okay? And he again is speaking on his experience. To be fair, I'm just reading the last part. Bishop Jakes is not what many think him to be. None of his children, neither natural, spiritual, or adopted, have lives without extreme warfare. While I know we are not fighting against the flesh and blood, we are, however, fighting against principalities, ruling spirits that have the power on earth. Bishop Jakes is a definite representative of a principality. The most unfortunate part of the story is that many know but won't do anything about it. There are a growing group of men who will no longer be quiet about what the current religious leaders are allowing to creep into our ranks. Now, that was in 2008. I'm not saying that these accusations are true or false. I'm just letting you guys know that these accusations have been out for a while. Now, to be fair, let me let you guys know who wrote that. The person who wrote that is a man by the name of Apostle Richard Youngblood. Yes, Dwayne Youngblood's brother. The same man that is now being accused. Who is now accusing Jakes of some things. This is Apostle Richard Youngblood, who was once T.D. Jakes' armor bearer. He wrote this in 2008. Again, not saying he's telling the truth, not saying he lied. I'm just giving y'all the information that was given to me. I'm just passing on what was passed to me. And to be fair, I'm letting you know who wrote it. Y'all can either make a positive or negative connection. I'm letting y'all know who wrote it. Okay. With that being said, I'm out of here. Take it for what you want. Thank you guys. Thank you, Fran, for renewing your membership. Thank you for the cash apps. Thank y'all for being here. If you have not done so already, please hit that like button on your way out the door. Please hit that like button on your way out the door. And with that being said, I'm about to head over to my review channel where myself, Ebby, and Kiss My Cheeks are about to talk about the new season of Traitors, y'all. We about to switch it up. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.